This is an overview of how to fill and drain the Chapel Baptistery. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure there's nothing in the baptistry. So we're just going to look over and see if there's anything back there. This front cover is made up of 5 parts. The first 2 are MDF panels that are just covering the front of it to make it look nice. And then there's 3 2x that are screwed together that go the whole length of it for structure and support. So there's French hooks on the back of these MDF panels we're just going to pick straight up. We're going to take it back, move it to stage right, and put it in that closet. Same thing with the other panel. Then you have to get 2 people who get on each side of that structured part, and you have to make sure you don't fall in that pit. You have to strong arm it, lift it straight up, make sure the bottom part gets above that trim piece that's about 10-12 inches off the bottom of that. Take the whole thing off stage right, unscrew those 4 to 6 screws right there and over there. You're going to take it apart off stage, put it in that closet. Now we're turning on our hot and cold supplies. We're over here at the water heater. Just turn that shut off, just flush that pipe. Next, we're making sure that all of our ball valves are open. There are 8 ball valves, and we want to make sure that they're all parallel with the pipe that it's running on. So there's 8 of them. Just kind of pointing them out quickly. Some red, some blue. Now we're going to come over to our filter. We're going to make sure that it's set to filter. And if it's not, you just push down on that handle, turn it to where it reads filter, and just let go of it. It's spring loaded, so it'll just close back down on itself. And now you're ready to fill it. You're going to take off this irrigation cover box, and this is our main drain for the baptistry. You're going to make sure that ball valve is 90 degrees of what the pipe is. So now that we have it all the way closed, we're just going to look over here at our heating and control box. Just get those lines flush with one another. It's in our 94 to 97 kind of comfort zone. So go ahead and just make sure that's flush, and that way you don't have to worry about it later. Whenever you throw the disconnect, it'll already be set to the correct temperature. Now we're going to turn on our cold water supply, and you can see from this angle, you just turn it flush with the plumbing. And now, just like we did with our hot water, that's what we just did with our cold water. So now we're opening up these 2 valves that are in front and behind the check valve. And now, with our autofill, you turn the switch on for the autofill box. It's back behind our autofill. You'll see green for power, yellow for sensing. And where it is sensing is there are 2 nodes that come off of that sensor right there, that beige sensor. And it's detecting to see if it's touching water or not. And then you'll see a green light on the far right come on, and that indicates that our autofill is allowing our hot and cold water mixture to flow into the baptistry. You're going to make sure that you come back and check your baptistry frequently, because there's a 1-hour timer on this autofill, but we want to check back in case it fails. It only takes 1 hour for the baptistry to fill, so if it were to go over that hour timer, it would overflow the baptistry and could cause a lot of potential damage along with expensive repairs. After our 1-hour fill cycle is up, our water level should be about right here on the inside of the baptistry, on the other side of the wall. We don't want to turn this disconnect until our water level is that high, because if we turn it on prematurely, there could be an airlock in the pump, overheat the heating elements, and cause damage. We don't want the water level to be here, because when you turn on the pump, it could drop the water level, drawing in air, and cause an airlock in the pump or around the heating elements, and again cause damage to components in the unit. The first thing we're going to do whenever we are draining the baptistry is we're going to turn off our pump so we don't cook our heating elements inside of the pump. Next, we're going to come over to our autofill, make sure our switch is turned off. Then we're going to close our shutoffs in front and behind the check valve. Then we're going to cut off our cold water supply. We're going to go over to our water heater. We're going to turn off our hot water supply. Then we can come down here to our main drain, open up our ball valve to where it's parallel with the plumbing, and everything else can stay the same. If at any point you need to shut off the water immediately, turn the switch to off on the autofill.